What's the deal with these 80,000% annual return schemes? Is that even real? Well, it's crypto. Anything's possible. And in today's video, we'll answer all your questions regarding how Olympus promises these high returns. So stay tuned till the end. Hello guys, welcome to Step by Step Crypto, your favorite crypto channel, where we take you step by step towards a deeper understanding of the crypto world. Now, as we've mentioned earlier, we're going to talk about what the Olympus DAO is, how Olympus offers APY for placing the OHM token or OHM token, and what is the game theory presented by the Olympus DAO. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. With that being said, let's begin. First, let's figure out the concept of currency. Well, people will always will trade or do deals with each other, which means we need some form of value to help us do this, like dollar bills. You see, thousands of years ago, we didn't have printers to print money, so we found something on Earth that was already rare, like gold, and used it to transact with each other. Gold coins were cool in pretty much everything, but carrying them around is getting very hard very fast, so the country started printing paper money, but only if there was enough gold to support their value. So that meant that if you had 10 paper bills, you could redeem them for 10 gold coins. Anytime this made the transaction easier and easier in your pocket, but over time, there was still a need for more. Likewise, Olympus DAO is the currency of the modern age, or we can call it the digital age, where everything, without exception, revolves around the metaverse. So let's get to know what the Olympus DAO is and how it works, and how can it bring such high returns. First, let's start by explaining its place in decentralized finance, or DeFi. Cryptocurrency, especially DeFi, is rapidly becoming a powerful digital economy. Stablecoins are cryptocurrencies that are pegged or directly pegged to a stable currency, such as the US dollar at a 1-to-1 ratio. They currently dominate the cryptocurrency market, but since they're pegged to the US dollar, they remain vulnerable to the Fed's inflationary policies. Recently, there's been a wave of algorithmic stablecoins seeking to mimic the dollar peg, maintaining a ratio of less than 1-to-1. Olympus has taken this idea a step further. What if we could achieve stability while maintaining purchasing power using a floating market price? So, what is the Olympus DAO? Reserve currency protocol based on OHM token. It aims to become a stable cryptocurrency. This will be achieved in the same way that central banks manage their currencies using reserve assets. But Olympus DAO runs OHM using crypto reserve assets, unlike central banks where decisions are made by few. All changes to the Olympus protocol are voted on by the OHM community through the DAO. So how does it work? Olympus protocol uses its treasury to secure all issued OHM tokens. Currently, every OHM is backed by the DAO stablecoins. Olympus is already forging new partnerships to add additional cryptocurrencies to the treasury. The protocol is designed to stabilize the OM value. Isn't it good that Olympus DAO wants to allay this fear and create a reserve currency and put it on the blockchain for public scrutiny? This is a very ambitious goal that aims to make OM the digital currency of the future and to ensure that it is always backed by a basket of cryptocurrencies and assets. So what about the crazy high returns they offer? How sustainable are they even? Can I really make that much money betting? Yes, the APY rate is real, and every OHM token you earn as a staker comes from treasury profits. Olympus Treasury is where all the magic happens. It has two doors, an entrance door for incoming profits and an exit door for the same profits as they go to the stakers as a reward. That's good. But how does the treasury make a profit? I'm glad you asked, and it's actually easily to sell bonds. So imagine that the current market price of OHM is $1,000 and the treasury offers you a discount and will sell you OHM for $960 if you buy it with your ETH. The only catch is that you'll be getting your total OHMs day in and day out for the next 7 days, and if the price stays roughly the same after a week, you'll get your own 4% discount. So boom, Treasury got your ETH up front while promising you a discount over the next week as they gradually charge you theirs. Meanwhile, this ETH adds value to the Treasury, which allows it to make new OHM's tokens because there's now money to justify it, and these newly minted tokens are being distributed as a reward to members. So, in a nutshell, the huge staking rewards actually come from the profits people are willing to buy at a discount. In other words, bonds. Now, people will forever want to buy the OMS token at a discount that remains to be seen. I'm sure it's no surprise to you that around 90 OHMSs are currently on the line and have been delivered since its inception. I mean, with so much money to spare, why don't you place a bet, right? Well, this is the point that prompts me to explain the game 3-3 that you see all over Twitter from the OHM community. It comes from this little thing called game theory. Let's take a look at what 3-3 game theory is to understand it better. So let's start with what game theory is, how it applies to Olympus, and what 3-3 is. Game theory studies interactive decision making, in which the outcome for each participant or player depends on the actions of everyone. If you are a participant in such a game, when choosing your course of action or strategies, you must consider the choices of others. A typical example is the prisoner's dilemma. 2 robbers were arrested and interrogated in different rooms. If both cooperate and they are silent, each will serve 1 year in prison. But if one of the prisoners refuses, betrays his partner, he will be released while his partner will serve 3 years. If they both refuse, each will serve 2 years. The paradox of the prisoner's dilemma is that both robbers can minimize the total time spent in prison if they both cooperate and remain silent. Olympus DAO applies game theory using a similar model, with values assigned to various actions taken by its users or players for OHM holders. 3 and 3 actions you can take. Staking from the market helps stabilize the price of the market, while binding helps Olympus to accumulate liquidity. These 2 actions also benefit the protocol. On the other hand, the sale is detrimental to both users and protocol. It lowers the cost, which lowers the value of all available OHMs and reduces users' confidence in the protocol. Last question. I'm sure everyone who watched this video was interested. The bet is probably what happens in the bank run scenario. Real-world bankruptcy means every bank customer is in a hurry to get their money out at the same time, and the bank doesn't have enough funds to deposit, which they never actually do. So what happens if everyone withdraws their own and starts selling or dumping on the market? Well, when people leave the betting pool, APY or profitability will start to skyrocket. So as more people place bets, it becomes more and more attractive to return the bet or for new people to come in and place bets, because the profitability will really start to rise, and even with hordes of people betting and selling their own, the amount of home they can earn while staying in the pool may not affect them in the long run. Why? Since their own profits will be higher the fewer people are in the pool. The greater number of awards that can be won on Olympus has spawned a very interesting, stimulating experiment here. So I'm sure viewers can call it some sort of Ponzi that I understand. This is a great token experiment in the field. Maybe it's an overly ambitious project, or maybe it's an interesting concept of human psychology and reserve currencies. It definitely just pushes the boundaries of what's possible in finance with easy innovation. That's it for the day, guys. Let us know your views in the comments down below. I hope you learned something new today. If you did, like and share the video. Also, consider subscribing to our channel for more awesome content. See you in the next one. Until then, peace.